Hello and welcome to the Inside Stylist podcast, where we talk all about interiors, from interviews with interior stylists, writers and the up-and-coming interiors brands we all want to hear about and feature. There's so much to talk about. I'm your host, Emma Morton-Turner. Enjoy the show. Today's guests are a husband duo who set up their own online boutique in October 2017. With an ethos of there's a little bit of divine and savage in all of us, interiors brand Divine Savages has taken the interiors world by storm, and in what has been a very short space of time. Their collections, which are available in flamboyant wallpapers, cushions, lampshades, linen and velvet fabrics, tablewares, greeting cards and art prints, come in stunningly bold and daring designs. Think luxury classic prints meets iconic modern yet quirky interiors. Today's guests are Jamie Watkins and Tom Kennedy of Divine Savages. Hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
So, I've got some questions that I've planned ahead, but I just have to start by saying your house is amazing.
Thank you.
I think I've seen some pictures online before, but actually being here, it's absolutely stunning, which I think you kind of expect from people who are into interiors.
Yeah.
It's like a little warm cocoon. We're in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Which wallpaper is this? What's this one
this
called?
is our crane fonder wallpaper.
Crane fonder. I love the names.
In the blush.
In the blush. The whole kitchen's
Coral,
got
sorry.
a real coral. That's right, very on trend.
Yes.
Very on trend coral. It's just a lovely warm feeling, and kitchens are usually quite hard. So,
Yeah,
it's
we did
beautiful.
this. Well, it's quite recent. We kind of did the makeover on this one, so yeah, it was quite neutral before, and obviously
Was it boring?
It was a
Yes.
bit boring,
Yeah, not
so
you guys.
we wanted, just to kind of put our Divine Savages stamp on it. So
Yeah.
we found the tiles first actually, and then I think the wallpaper was designed after.
Really?
So,
Did you
kind
design
of-
it with the kitchen in mind?
Maybe.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
You can literally go,
We can
right,
do that
what
now,
do we
yeah.
want? Perfect.
Yeah, we were thinking of using Jar Jar first, but then I kind of wanted a more kind of subtle tone, less kind of dramatic.
Yeah.
So I kind of wanted like a slight 70s vibe as well.
Yeah.
So I was like, right, we're going to do cream font. I'm going to
Yeah.
do one that I had a vision in my mind. And I was like, this is what it's going to look like. And it's kind of based around the tiles, which is a very weird way of working.
Do you know what? I think we'll get into questions in a minute, but when you do photo shoots, you start with one thing, and it might be a piece of fabric, a piece of wallpaper, or like you say, a tile. It's just whatever floats your boat.
Yeah,
It's whatever
exactly.
you kind
And
of fall in love
inspires
with,
you,
and
yeah.
just move around that. Yeah,
Sure.
so I can completely understand. So how did Divine Savages come about?
We've both always been just really passionate about interiors, but we were kind of living in rental and obviously not much creative kind of possibilities in that situation. So it wasn't really until we were able to buy this place kind of about 6 years ago that we were able obviously to kind of start decorating ourselves, and we weren't really finding much that we kind of wanted to use or like, and Tom obviously has a background in illustration and design, so he started making a couple of items, kind of be it like a shower curtain or some artwork.
How do you make a
cushion.
shower curtain?
I know, yeah.
Did you just go, I can't find what I want?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Did you just
Magic
find
of
a
Google,
plain one
yeah.
and then...
Thank God for
And
Google.
print, we just were able to print kind of one, and then friends would come round after to see our new place, and kind of were really liking, well, where'd you get that from? Or
Yeah.
where'd you get that cushion
I
from?
designed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that kind of planted a small seed, I think, in us kind of thinking, oh, maybe we could actually do something here.
Simultaneously, just after we bought this, I basically got labyrinthitis, which is a very weird kind of illness that affects your balance, and somehow it went chronic, and I was dizzy and couldn't get out of bed. So I worked for a brand agency, which I loved, and I loved everyone I worked with, but it was quite not stressful, but a very high energy, high turnaround kind of industry. So with the illness, I was on a lot of medication trying to deal with everything, and I just got to a breaking point where I was like,
Something
I can't
needs
do
to
it. Yeah.
change.
So then I was lucky to be able to go freelance, and
Yeah, we thought if Tom kind of went freelance, then it would give him more kind of balance his kind of work and kind
doing
of
the
health
same-
and time. Doing the same
yeah.
thing.
And I'd still
doing the,
freelance for the
illustration.
company agency I worked for, but it'd be on a lot less hours and stress.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, because I was so frustrated that I couldn't be creative in my work, and computers were a major trigger for my illness. So for about a year I had to stop working on computers and just try and figure out, well, how I was going to live, basically. And then...
But at the same time, it kind of weirdly gave him the time and gave us the time to kind of focus on creating the brand that was like, kind of had that idea a couple.
So was it kind of ticking away in the background?
Yeah.
And you just thought, I'll just do a little sketch here and a little drawing there.
And then because we had the house.
And
then it kind of exploded from there. And then luckily, because I was able to manage my time better, I could control how much I worked on the computer. There was no time deadlines. So then gradually I got better as well.
I was going to say, how are you now?
Because
you look very well.
Thank you. I'm still on the meds.
Yeah.
But Prosecco helps.
Oh, I think Prosecco helps with everything.
Yeah, so then that kind of, we were able to kind of put some time into what would become Divine Savages.
So were you working full time? What were you doing?
Yeah, so my kind of background is not design. I work in kind of TV and content acquisitions and scheduling, so completely different.
And I'd imagine quite time consuming.
Yeah.
Late nights. And...
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's kind of more the broadcast side. So yeah, that's my background. But
so would you come home from doing that during the day and then kind of start doing...
Yeah, well, at the early stages it was more kind of Tom doing all the creative side. But yeah, now it's kind of a balance of kind of me side hustling in the evenings and weekends, and Tom is now on it full time. So,
So you're still working the day job?
Still have the day job,
Good balance.
Yeah.
It's like you come home and your job. Is it quite hard work doing it afterwards, or is it? I mean, it's always going to be hard work, but is it that enjoyable? Can't wait to do the hard work.
Well, when it's your own kind of project, it doesn't always feel like work.
No.
Yeah, it's kind of...
It's hard to switch
really
off sometimes.
Nice.
Yeah. You're like, I have to go to bed. It's 2 a.m.
Yeah.
I need to be up at 6.
Exactly. Yeah. So no, you don't mind putting the effort in when it's your own.
Yeah. So Tom, you had a background in illustration. Did you go to art school?
Yes, I went to University of Westminster and studied graphics and then switched to illustrations. And then I got a job doing kind of point of sale merchandising graphics for a couple of years, and then I suddenly realised this is not for me. And I started designing t-shirt graphics. Then I got into fashion, worked for other different fashion companies like Ben Sherman, Dr. Martens, Fred Perry, French
just
Connection.
Small brands then.
Yeah, just small brands. And I started doing all over prints and repeat patterns, which kind of slot quite well into wallpaper.
Picked up lots of kind of experience from that has helped you with this.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Because after
I think you always end you kind of are sent on a path. I believe in fate. You're sent on a path, and actually there's a reason why you intertwine in all this.
Completely.
Because you worked in trends. You've got coral wallpaper.
Yes.
Coral is so on trend right now. It's like,
it was out last year.
Yes, exactly. You're like so ahead. So what's coming next year?
But then it was quite good because then I went on working for the trend agency and the branding agency, which helped me come up with branding and logos and know how companies work and things like that. And then I was suddenly like, right,
need to use all this expertise because we'd kind of been talking about it for ages after he'd been freelance for a while. Like, you're so good at what you do with your design. Like, why are we working?
It still makes my soul hurt slightly.
Why are you doing that for someone else when you should just be doing it for yourself? So yeah.
So where did the name come from?
Yeah, so it was. We spent ages kind of trying to come up, and it's obviously such an important part of your brand identity. So we
started designing the products before we had a name.
Yeah, so the designs were kind of coming first, and I guess that kind of fed into it as Tom was kind of designing the first initial ones, and there was always kind of a twist in those designs. So that kind of became, I guess, a driving force in kind of what our name would become, that twist. So, and I think we'd been randomly watching the John Waters Netflix documentary, so we were kind of, I think some kind of fierce vocabulary was kind of in our subconscious, and so divine kind of stuck quite quickly, and then obviously with that twist we were looking for something that kind of did the other side of that, and I don't know, I think just Savages just felt really cool and right, and So Divine Savages was born really, and it's kind of weird now that we wouldn't be called anything.
Yeah,
else.
I was going to say you just had that. It's the right
It does
name,
really tie into kind of what the brand is, and,
Yeah.
and kind of all our designs and what we want it to be.
Yeah, and also like when you come up with a brand name, you need to check social media.
Yeah,
we were really
accounts, websites, if
surprised
they're
that it hadn't
available,
been taken.
and thank the Lord,
Yes.
no one actually had ever used
It's
Divine
quite an
Savages.
unusual name,
So,
isn't it? So you've done a really good thing there.
Yeah, and I mean the feedback's been really great. People do love the name,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
yeah,
it's memorable as well.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then when you see your products, you can, it fits so well. You will remember it. I think.
Good.
Thank
do
you.
you want to describe some of your designs for people who haven't seen them yet?
Sure. So obviously we're sat in the kitchen.
Yes.
So crane fonda is our kind of, as Tom said, like palm foliage and crested crane, so kind of quite 70s. And this is obviously the coral colourway, but we also released recently an emerald green, which has
Palm
gone
blue
really
as
well, and palm blue. And the name that you were kind of saying, we actually ran a competition on Instagram
Did you?
to
I
ask
missed
people
that.
to name our wallpaper. We've done it a couple of times actually, and it's such good fun.
Yeah.
And the community on there is great, and everyone had some amazing ideas, but that one really stuck out. So we
I
ended
love
up
that.
with crane fonda. And then we have geometric ivory, which is one of our first, which is kind of quite bold, black and white stripes. Tropical
birds.
Yeah, that's the first one
Flowers.
I ever saw of yours.
so
And it was
that's
so
kind
striking.
of not for the faint-hearted.
In a bathroom as well, it was like,
Yeah.
pow.
Yeah.
When you walk in, it's like, wow, where'd you look first?
Someone's put that on their ceiling, which was amazing.
Really?
Yeah.
In what room?
In their hallway.
In a hallway? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. And
Okay.
then the other one, fornication.
Yes, Fornication was probably the second one I designed. No, it's the third, sorry. And that was, I love cats. I love anything to do with cats. I just basically the trend for palms as well coming out. I just like started to come together, and then I created Fornication, and then we did a Nocturnal Fornication, which is a darker kind of more midnight, whereas normal Fornication is more for like a maximalism red and blue, which Oliver Thomas used.
Used that in
Great
his,
British design challenge.
and he used that in his Grand Designs live room set, which was really cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Do you see an influx in people coming to you when that happens? Can you tell where people come from?
Well, yeah, you can a bit kind of through the website. You can kind of see where they found us, but I mean, I'd say most of our referrals come from Instagram, which has been a great tool for us. And then gradually more kind of word of mouth, and obviously some PR and press that we've had recently has really helped. So yeah.
Sometimes it's a bit magic though, like a picture that you're not quite sure about. Maybe you should post it, and then it suddenly does like over 1,000. You're like,
it's funny like that.
how is this happening?
We'll never understand the algorithm.
No, I don't think anyone does. I
No.
think just as soon as people start understanding it, they change it again.
Yes, completely.
Exactly.
So you've got, is it, I counted them, was it 7 or 9 designs at the moment?
We've got
We might have a
17
few more now.
wallpapers.
17
including
the different colour
including
variations,
different
yeah.
colour.
There might be about 10.
Yeah,
Probably
probably
get
is.
to that.
And
9 or 10.
which one is your bestseller?
Deco Martini.
I think, Deco Martini was again one of our first ones, but it's kind of that our twist on the classic Art Deco kind of fan motif, but with our favourite cocktail, complete with olive and martini glass. So
do you know what, the pictures that I've seen of that, it's like, wow, that's beautiful, and then when you come in close you go, oh yeah. That's your little twist, isn't it? Your little divine quirkiness.
Yeah, that's been really popular, and I mean it's available on fabrics now, wallpaper, cushions, some of our smaller home accessories. So yeah, that's been kind of probably our big seller. And the teal and the blush colourway, and then
We launched
about a month or so ago we launched Arsenic, which is kind of a green colourway, which has been quite popular.
You've got a lot of products for a company that's not been going for, it's not very long at all, is it? It's like it's just over a year.
Yeah.
What did you launch with?
We launched with wallpaper, cushions, prints,
Coasters and placemats.
and mugs.
So you launched with quite a lot.
Yeah, I think my eyes were too big fall of regret. I don't know what the phrase is.
I think it's when we
regret
launched.
doing so much at the first 3 months because I think it was just so overwhelming.
I was going to say it's overwhelming to try and keep on top of it.
Yeah. But
you've grown since
Yeah,
then, so
it's
obviously it worked.
I love it now, obviously.
Acting purpose on accident.
And I think we launched kind of mid-October last year, and then we were doing Top Drawer in January, so this time a year ago. So I think also part of us were kind of, well, we need stuff
to show.
for the show. We're a new brand, and we don't just want 2 wallpapers. We need kind of something a bit more for people, and something I guess like across the range, that a different price range for whether different shops. They're not just going to want wallpaper, a cushion or a placemat or greeting cards was where that kind of came from.
Yeah, we were talking just before we started recording that I met you then in
January,
that was where it was, I think you were talking to someone, so I went up and I was just looking at the wall of greeting cards, laughing quite a lot because some of them have got swear words in them. But you have to look because they look quite kind of classic and beautifully designed, and then you look and go, oh, they're a bit naughty.
That's our kind of stuff.
Love that.
And it's kind of the line that we can be like quite playful with, and like that's where our kind of more twisted humour comes out.
It was quite funny at the stand. You'd kind of be a bit nervous about how people were going to...
Yeah, especially a certain type of person wakes up, you're like, oh,
exactly.
What am I gonna do?
But then most of the time they were probably found it the funniest.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my God, the ones you were worried about were like, oh, it's amazing, I love it. Where'd you sell?
So do you draw them in? They look like they're drawn with like a pen. Do you literally sit and draw them with a pen?
Each design uses different medias. So for certain designs I use... Well, all of the designs I start off with pencil and pad. And I start sketching out what I think I want it to look like and just how I think the repeat's going to work. And then from there I either take it, depending where I want the design to go, into different media. So I've got a digital pen which I use. So for Zsa Zsa I started drawing that on the screen, and then I work through that, and then I can play with the repeats a lot easier and understand how it's going to work without having to... Apple Z is the best thing in my life. So basically that means delete, go back. But Apple Z,
I know that one.
Without Apple Z in my life, everything would be horrific. So that's why I use digital, because it's so much quicker to kind of progress and time saving. So for that one I used digital Wacom pen, and then used different colorways and things like that. And then for Deco Martini, that was more vector based, because it's such a clean line design. I use Adobe Illustrator, and use a vector based design tool for that, which was again a lot easier to unwind things. And then for others it's kind of collage or hand-drawn elements included within the collage. So it's
a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
It actually depends on the design. That's good. It gives you free reign, doesn't it?
Yeah,
so if you want to
completely.
change for the next range you do, you can just do whatever you want.
Completely.
It
As long as
it works, doesn't it?
It's got the twist, and it's got our kind of DNA within it. I'm quite open to using any kind of media to create the design. And it does evolve. I started one recently which involves paint, which is a bit messier, but it still gives a different kind of tone, which I really love. So every design is different. It's quite hard to... I don't box myself in, but sometimes I wish I could box myself in more.
Where do you manufacture? Is it in the UK?
Yeah, so all our makers, wallpaper and greeting cards, all printed in the UK, our fabric. We really kind of like using UK manufacturers, kind of, and supporting UK business, because obviously we're one ourselves.
Yes.
Yeah, so and our bone china is made in Stafford, so kind of we also like that kind of history and heritage that comes with that, and the expertise. And our wallpaper manufacturers have been making it for decades, so they can obviously kind of advise us as well on kind of different techniques. Like there's lots of different kind of wallpaper techniques that we want to explore. So so all in the UK.
That's really good. Love that. So you must be working on some new designs at the moment then.
Maybe.
Anything you'd like to share, or is it all top secret?
We've got
or you can tell me when it's coming out if you can't tell me what's coming out.
We've got a very exciting collaboration with an amazing Bleep.
Come to me.
That
Amazing. Come to me.
I've loved
Listen.
all my life. So I'm very, very excited about
And
that.
when would that be coming out? When's that?
We're
launching?
hoping
Towards
like
the-
June. May,
Jamie's
June.
very
Optimistic?
yes, and I would say probably more like August.
So you work on it now, and then it takes time to get it all
Yeah,
printed
yeah.
and
And
everything.
I
Yeah.
guess
So,
from
yeah.
their side as well, they need to sign everything off. So
Yes.
it's because it's collaboration.
Yes.
It's something that you might not foresee changes.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
sure
that's
they
really
are.
exciting.
Yes. And then we also started, because I've got a background in fashion, I would love to do some apparel, but at the moment we're just launching, we're just in the design stages of silk scarves.
Oh, wow.
So we've had quite a few kind of comments saying, oh my god, I'd love it on a silk scarf on Instagram, and I kind of...
Yeah, it seemed like a natural progression
Yeah.
for like some of our prints. So, as Tom said, his background in fashion. So that will be coming at some point
That's very
later this
exciting.
year. And then I guess more greeting cards as well. Paper chase. We're kind of
Yes,
stocked in paper
that's a new
chase.
thing, isn't it?
Yeah, so
Very
that happened
exciting.
at the end of last year, which we're like super excited about. So Tom will be designing lots more greeting cards for that range.
Rude greeting cards.
Yeah.
Rude greeting cards. Nice.
And then the wallpaper kind of will follow. Yeah, so we're busy.
Yeah.
Kind of obviously just the two of us, it keeps us very busy.
Yeah, and like I said, you've started only in October 2017, and you've grown so big so quickly. What's the secret? What's your
I know.
secret?
Well, I think, I mean, we've been blown away by like how everyone has kind of taken to Divine Savages, and the feedback has been amazing. I think, as mentioned earlier, Instagram has been a massive kind of growth tool for us. So,
Did you have like an idea of what you were going to do to, I mean, obviously you have to be on Instagram, every brand needs to be on Instagram, but did you have a kind of a plan and then it took off?
probably no. I would love to say that
Went
we
for
did. No, I mean,
It kind of
it's so
naturally
different.
blossomed.
Yeah, it's so different using Instagram for business as it was. Obviously, I had a personal account, and it was mostly holiday pics and our cat.
I was saying, and your cat, that sounds like my
yeah.
Instagram.
So then having kind of to move then into kind of managing that social media was kind of a big change, and it took a while to find our voice, and you're always kind of in the initial stages quite anxious about will people like what we post or like what we say, but we were kind of discussing just before, like the interiors community on Instagram are kind of so open and welcoming and collaborative. So we were kind of just like, they really kind of embraced the brand. And it was kind of networking to start with, and reaching out to some kind of key bloggers who have kind of really helped us along the way and shared our work and kind of ran competitions and giveaways. And I think that in the initial kind of couple of months, I guess 6 months, that really helped us to kind of get our name out there.
Yeah.
And now it's kind of just kind of keeping that going, really. But I think the collaboration thing is key.
Yeah.
Everyone was a lot more welcoming and friendly and open than I could ever imagine.
Yes, especially coming from fashion. I think fashion is very a little bit more. What did I say earlier? It's that they're quite guarded, and they don't share things in the same way that interiors do. It's less competitive.
Yes,
is what I think.
completely.
And for that reason, I think people are a little bit more. It's like you welcome people into your home. You don't welcome people into your wardrobe.
No,
It's slightly different.
exactly, completely.
Yeah.
You hit it on the head there.
So with that in mind, we've got a lot of interior stylists and writers listening to this. I've missed a question off. I'm going to come back to it in a minute. A good one. Obviously, you want to get your name out there. Are you quite up for people to contact you to use your wallpapers in photo shoots and writing features, getting hold of images and stuff like that?
Definitely. I mean, that's a key kind of goal for us this kind of second year, as we enter our second year, to kind of connect more with those kind of interior stylists. And so by all means, kind of drop us a line, find our email details or phone number, and let us know, and we'd love to chat more. But we kind of can make things available at quite short notice.
That's essential.
We've got a show home literally 5 doors down from us.
Oh, have you? you?
I've forgotten what it's called though.
No, the one we were saying about the studio
so
space.
I'm in New Cross. So all I have to say to people listening is the New Cross location.
Yes.
We are literally 5 doors up. Yeah. It's like
So
if you need
go.
a pint of milk, Sainsbury's is just down the road.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
But yeah, we'd love to chat to anyone that would like to know more about Divine
Brilliant.
Savages.
So if anyone listening wants to get in touch, the best way to contact Jamie and Tom are jamie@divinesavages.com or tom@divinesavages.com. I'll put the number in the show notes. I could say it now, but no, people are probably out running when they listen to this or driving. So
Very good.
I'll put that down. I'll also mention that your Instagram is @divinesavages because you chose such a good name.
Yeah.
And your website is divinesavages.com. It's
Yes.
like, you've got all of
We're
them.
very
It's very
lucky.
good. The question I missed off was, have you had any disasters along the way?
Oh,
Everyone
save that
loves
for
a
last.
disaster story.
We haven't, I mean, nothing major in terms of kind of the strategy or brand, but kind of in the early days we had one manufacturer that was making kind of our wallpaper and our fabrics for us and our cushions, kind of a one-stop shop.
Yeah.
And we just kind of, we were growing, and it was a few months in after we'd launched, and we were kind of getting quite a lot of orders, so we thought, well, let's order more, and kind of that helped with our kind of margins. So we put a big order in and paid for it up front, and then a few weeks went by and we hadn't seen our order kind of confirmed, and then we noticed that their social media was shut down, and we tried to call them and it kind of wasn't happening, so they'd kind of gone bust. So
And you paid
So we
all
lost-
your
Yeah,
order.
so we
And
kind
all
of
that, all the colour testing, all that knowledge and all that time we spent colour testing, it literally just gone to
God.
waste.
Yeah,
And did you
so
have
that was a
orders
bit-
outstanding?
Well, there was a couple that we kind of, they understood.
Yeah.
Kind of,
Yeah.
it was still quite early on. So yeah, it didn't impact us too much in that
No.
kind of way, but it was just a kind of frantic kind of trying to find new
Yes.
suppliers.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, it actually ended up working better.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
found a great new supplier that has a lot more experience and a much better product. And so now we
These
kind of
things
we
are
kind of
really
learned
nice
now
for
to
a
kind of
reason.
split our kind of manufacturing across
Yeah.
a number of like places.
Yeah.
A rookie mistake maybe, but it all kind of worked out in the end.
And as Kelly Clarkson says, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Yes, exactly. I can imagine the sleepless nights that caused.
It was a little
But now you're
stressful.
drinking champagne.
Yeah,
You know,
that's fine.
Prosecco in your kitchen. It's all good.
Yeah, we're happy now.
All right, very last question. What's next for Divine Savages?
Yeah.
A little bit of a collaboration, obviously,
Yeah.
coming out next year.
Collaboration, we've got
Holiday.
A holiday.
Yeah, a much needed holiday.
I mean, that's the thing when you kind of,
Yeah.
we've not managed to have much time off, so we would really love to schedule a little break in kind of March.
Well, my birthday present in August was a nice holiday, which Jamie,
So that will,
which Jamie has pushed back another
A
7
year?
Yeah, literally a year.
It will probably be. So that will be on the list. But in terms of the brand, I think it's just kind of continuing to like ride this wave of kind of growth that we've had in the first 12 months, and continuing to connect with kind of those stylists and designers. We'd love to kind of reach out and kind of connect with more on the commercial side, so commercial interiors.
Yeah.
I think our designs would work really well
Yeah.
in hotels and bars and restaurants. So that's something we want to kind of focus on. What else?
I think you said it all.
Yeah, the new collaboration, and then
So everyone has to follow you on Instagram, help you
Yes, please.
name things.
yes, there
Wallpapers
will be
and
another.
designs and
We will
everything.
be doing another name competition, I think, because it's so much fun.
Yeah.
And everyone's so creative.
Yeah.
Like the names that they
Yeah, I'm gonna
suggest
play
are
around.
amazing.
Yeah.
So,
We've got
I'm
a new
gonna give
design
you-
coming.
I'm going to
Which
give
I
you
think
rude
will work
names
really
though,
well.
because you like rude
Yeah,
girls.
perfect.
I'm gonna be really rude.
Perfect.
that works.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
But thank you both very much for your
Thank you.
time.
Thank
It's
you.
been really good fun.
No, it's been great.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to the Inside Stylist podcast. You'll find all the details from today's show over on the website insidestylist.com. If you enjoyed the show, I'd love it if you would go over to iTunes and rate and review it. It's the best way to help other people find the show, and I would really appreciate it. Until next time, bye for now.